So I took all the yellow parts and I primed it, of course, black, but I used not the Mr. Surfacer black. I actually used black primer and microfiller, and this is actually a really good primer to use, as long as you have a good high PSIs to spray it. And I used it on my Wave airbrush, which came out good. And then instead of using and then I painted it this color, which is actually polished brass. I was going to do gold, but I think the polished brass gives it a little more darkness to it, a rough edge, and I think it came out pretty nice, as you could see there. There's some detail there that I want to probably end up putting a marker on it. I don't know yet. I'm waiting for this to dry, or I may end up doing a wash. I have a wash here somewhere, so I can probably do that. Probably going to top coat it first. But now we're going to start working on the other color, which is of course the red, which is right here. This is the all the red parts. And like I said, I was going to use one paint that I wanted to try again, and that is of course pure red, Mr. Finisher. I used this last year on my Tallgeese, Real Grey Tallgeese 3, and it came out pretty good. Out of the other colors I've done, this was pretty good, and I'm not knocking it. I just didn't. I think maybe I didn't feel like I did a good job, and because when I built the Tallgeese last year, it was only a few parts to paint red, but this time we're going to use it to the fullest. And yeah, I know some of you guys are saying, well, why didn't you prime it white or gray? Well, there's a reason why. First thing, let's make sure the flow is good. Good. I'm going to do some pre-shading. With the black. Now, it looks like that for now, but once it dries, I'll give it an overall pass. Let's try this guy. Don't know how well this will look from under, but I got the right amount of consistency with the thinner that I purchased with the finisher paints, and it's really good, really good. All right, so this one is that long area, the long part that's in the middle of the tail. So let me just do this nice and slow. Smaller parts like this is going to be difficult to do a pre-shade, but I'm going to try. So it depends on how well it'll come out in the overall scheme of things. Now right now I'm just, as I'm applying the paint, I'm giving a blast of air for like a quick dry. This one I don't have to do pre-shade. this is actually the head, and because there's that red sensor here and the chin, so I can actually give it a light pass there. The eyes, I'm definitely want to paint green. Oh wow, this part shouldn't be here. This is one of the blue headsets. Whoops. Glad I caught that. But I have some red parts here. Let's see if I can do a little bit of pre-shading there. Alright. Let's give it a moment while it dries, and then I'll give it a final pass. Alright, so it dried up pretty well. Now I'm going to do the overall pass, in which case I'm going to go a little, you know, instead of doing concentrated, I'm going to do far away. I'm going to do light strokes here. Very light strokes. Make sure that you see the coverage go through. I have to admit, this paint is really good once it's properly thinned. I did 50-50. Then I did a little testing on the board to see how it comes out. I don't know how well this will look. I want to do a side-by-side comparison with a partially pre-shaded and a fully painted. If that actually can show, you could see the separation, you know, the dark areas showing through the red that I spray painted, and then you have here where it shows like that, but now it's blended in. This is a very unique technique to do this. I know that it's a reverse pre-shade. There's a term for this because, you know, there are two ways of doing this. You could either prime the part first, a lighter tone like gray or white, then paint the edges, you know, dark, you know, black or charcoal or something like that, and then once that's done, take the overall base paint color and spray right over it, you know, like lightly, like how I'm doing right now, and then you have the overall effect. See how that came out. I want to make sure this looks good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. That's good. Now, I'm going to continue on with the rest. I'm not going to show it like I just did right now with the feet. And I know some of you are probably saying that, wait a minute, what about there's other parts to this kit that's also red, and that is this part here, which has to be masked off and painted red, and in the tail, that little section there. And that's going to be interesting on how I'm going to do this. well, you know what? Now I just thought of something. Now that I just thought of something, let me go get it right now. So here's the tail, and that's the part that's going to be pre-shaded. So instead of me pulling out the red again, I'm just going to spray a little bit there, like how I did with the other part. That's there. And that's there. There you go. And I might as well get the other one. Hang on. I don't know if I actually glued these two parts together. Oh good, I actually can remove them. Good. I'm going to have to use some of my clips here. So that section is all also red. So I'm going to precisionally paint the insides there. Good. That's good. Now I'm actually going to wait until this dries and the other one to dry, so that way I'm going to mask off the remaining part, because I don't want to paint the black red that's going to be recovered again. I don't know if I said that correctly. Let's just say that I want to make sure I want to preserve the pre-shading. It's kind of hard to do that when you do two-tone colors and the one that you're going to work with may be off, maybe a little different. So I gotta like really plan this out. I just realized it until now. So I'll pull out the masking tape and I will cover that up soon. But in the meantime, let me finish up the remaining red parts. Then when I'm done with this, I'll finish up that one. But after I covered it with masking tape. Then once it's dry, I'll mask those parts off so I can begin painting that the white color. But that will be after I'm done with this color first and then the next color. So let me just continue on. We'll figure this out together. Alright, so while I'm waiting for the red to finish drying, I'm going to start working on some colors that's not going to give me a lot of trouble with, which is basically the charcoal parts. I've already primed it black, and I was thinking of using the Finisher gunmetal version, but I do like this one better. I feel more comfortable with it. It's always been a personal favorite with this one. So I'm going to try this on this one and see how it comes out. Let's go try this here. That's good. And obviously when it dries, I'm going to paint this and this as well a different color tone. Don't know what yet. We'll figure it out. Alright, so this is the back skirt. Tone on this is really nice, especially with the black base. I could have easily used a gray base, gray primer. I think this part would probably show off. I could have used a white or gray primer, but I don't have those, so the black was required. But it looks really nice though. It has a nice sheen to it. This part is going to be interesting. As much as I want to paint the whole thing as one color, these little molds that represent the funnels is begging to be repainted a different color tone. I don't know what color the original funnels would be. There is no reference material out there for like in the anime. And as soon as, obviously when the movie comes out, we'll see these little funnels in action. I may give it another like different shade of gray. We'll figure that out. The same thing here with the little vents. However, I don't know if this will be exposed out because the entire armor will be covering the kit itself. So granted, I'll be detailing this ad nauseum, and it will not show on camera. It will not show once it's officially built, put together. Get both sides because this is going to be exposed out. Good. Alright. Let me just get the remaining parts that I'm going to be using to paint. This should be quick. So let me take care of these guys and then we'll move on to the next color of this kit. So, a whole lot of fun.